I now recognize Ms. Van Duyne for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, and thank you for our witnesses for being here today. As we work with the Trump administration to conduct a comprehensive review of America's trade policy, we must ensure that our trade engagements put American workers and farmers, manufacturers, and energy producers first. For far too long, our competitors, and especially our adversaries, have taken advantage of U.S. markets while our businesses face unfair barriers abroad. We've heard it all across the country. The days of passive trade policy are over, and I am committed to working with the Trump administration to expand market access and to ensure that American farmers and small businesses get access to markets and opportunities they deserve. And that being said, securing new market access is only part of the equation, and I'm continuing to emphasize that we must also hold our trade partners accountable. Mexico and Canada must stand with us in confronting China's unfair trade practices, particularly the flooding of subsidized goods into our markets. And as we approach the USMCA review, we must ensure that we are fully enforcing their commitments to not allow China to exploit loopholes at our expense. We know trade agreements are only as good as their enforcement, and Mexico and Canada must be full partners in preventing Beijing from exploiting North America as a backdoor into U.S. markets. The USMCA was a hard-fought win for American workers, but we cannot allow China to circumvent tariffs and restrictions by shipping goods through our neighbors. We need strict enforcement measures to prevent this type of manipulation and ensure that Mexico and Canada fully uphold their obligations under their agreement. Additionally, Mexico must return the land of Vulcan materials that is wrongfully expropriated and commit to upholding its part of the Mexican Water Treaty. That is especially important in Texas. China remains the greatest long-term threat to fair trade and American economic security. And as we consider new trade agreements this Congress, we will address China's market manipulation, dumping of steel and aluminum, forced technology transfers, and IP theft to protect American economic interests both home and abroad. Trade must be free, but also fair and fully enforced. We must secure better trade deals, hold bad actors accountable, and protect American industries from unfair competition. Mr. Kirkland, I know that Congresswoman Tenney had asked you a similar question, but I don't know that I got the answer that I was looking for specifically. In your testimony that you had discussed interest in expanding trade in Southeast Asia, specifically in Vietnam and in Thailand. Can you help explain how these trade agreements with these two countries would benefit U.S. cattle producers?
Yes, thank you. And I kind of talked about the trade with China, and that's what you were talking about. Is our reliance, or not really reliance, but our heavy trade with China is being a $2 billion market for the beef industry, with the large tariffs from Vietnam and Thailand. We appreciate everything that the Trump administration did in his first term to get China open. But at the end of the day, we've got Australia, New Zealand, and Canada that have zero tariffs for all these countries that we have tariffs against, that have tariffs against us. And so we don't need to depend on China to be our main source of beef exports. That's in my opinion. We need non-science-based restrictions and basically a competitive trade platform that we can stand on and continue to move our product to those other countries in the South Asia area.
Thank you. Ms. Broadman, you have a lot of experience in this. Can you talk about how we can improve our trade deals with countries like Mexico that have posed challenges in the past and have basically completely ignored many of the regulations they agreed to under USMCA?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the review of the USMCA agreement that's coming up, the committee's starting to think about it now, and I think we just have to...
I can't hear you.
Pay very close attention to the letter and the law of the agreement. And
are there things that you think that we could put into it to make it stronger that would actually give it teeth?
I guess I would assume there are. I can't think of what exactly you want right now. I mean, is it a dispute settlement enforcement or...
Ways that we've seen them abuse it in the last 4 years.
Sorry?
we've seen them abuse it in the last 4 years.
Yeah, no,
Are
I
there things that we
understand
could
that,
have
yeah.
included in the USMCA that we should look at in the review that
Right.
would actually make that enforcement easier?
I mean, I think Mexico and the U.S. are engaged in pretty tough talks right now, given the threats of the tariffs and so forth. And I think let's wait and see how that plays out and use the review to look at rules of origin and agreements that we can, areas where we can improve the agreement, because we know where the problems are now that we didn't know when it was implemented.
Excellent, thank you, and I yield back.